What's going on, YouTube? Today we received something. Not in the best shape as far as the box. This is just something I picked up on Amazon. I think they're around 35 bucks. They should look great. We're gonna get rid of these long, ugly stock levers with clutch and brake. Let's go ahead and swap those out. Should be a pretty easy task. We'll start with the brake side. So let's go ahead and get that one off. We will need a flathead screwdriver to remove this. It has a nut on the bottom that holds it in place. I'm just going to back that off. And that just comes straight out. So that's what we look like here. We have the stock versus the aftermarket. You can see they are a little shorter and look a whole lot better. So what we're going to do, we're going to apply a little bit of grease inside of here for the actual brake plunger here, and then we'll put a little bit of grease on the bolt that holds it all together. Now, one thing that they do include is a couple of shims, so that if you have too much free play in here, you can adjust that with those shims. But this seems to be a pretty tight fit. Let me compare it really quick to the stock one. Yeah, it's actually tighter than the stock lever is. So at least on this side, we will not require any of those shims. Okay, so we'll take a small amount of waterproof grease and put on here. And then a little bit of grease on the inside where it contacts the plunger for the brake. We want to make sure that the plunger itself goes into the pocket that it's designed for. Just like so. Sometimes you have to push on the lever until we catch the threads. We will drive this down. Another thing that I like to do when it comes to something critical like controls is put a dab of some blue Loctite on the nut itself. A little bit more than a dab, I guess. Thread that on. We'll tighten up on the bottom nut with a combination wrench, a 10mm wrench. Get it nice and snug. We don't want to over tighten it, but we also certainly don't want it to be loose. That has a really good feel, and it has adjustments. It can also be adjusted by pulling the lever away. You can adjust the distance from the grip itself, depending on your preference. Very, very nice. All right, let's go ahead on the clutch side and get that one going. So the first thing we'll do, in order to change the clutch lever, the first thing that we're going to do is turn our adjustment mechanism until we get it here. We want to turn it in as far as we can, so that we have room to pull out the cable. That's about as far as we're going to go. You want this little slot on the wheel itself to align with the slot in the perch and lever. And then we'll pull back on it. You can pull it back that way, push it out. This is a small little barrel that fits in here and slides back. Now we have that out, we can work on getting the lever out itself. We'll use a 10mm socket for that. Just like that. Once we have the nut off, we can push the pin out and remove the lever. And again, just like on the brake, we want to put a little bit of waterproof grease on the pivot, like so. There's also a small sleeve that was in the stock lever that we need to pull out so that it can be inserted into the new one. Put that in just like that. That's going to eliminate all that extra slop in there. Put that into place. Push that down. There we go. Get some of that grease off. Okay, so now we'll take our cable, push it back into position, pull it back through the adjuster, tug on it just a little bit to get it to pop into place. Alright, we will get the nut onto the bottom. Again, we take our nut to have still in the socket, put a little dab of blue Loctite. Let's get it on the threads. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we are going to put that back right here. So it didn't need any of the shims on either side. We just have to tighten this back up. We don't want to over tighten. Just get it nice and snug. Between the lever and the perch we have way too much free play, so we want to adjust that out of it. Now all we're going to do is turn that clockwise. We turn it until we get to the thickness. Okay, so once we have the main pivot bolt tightened, once we have the adjuster backed out, I use my key basically to get about that thickness between the perch and the actual lever itself. That feels about right. So I found there was a little bit of free play here in this pivot area. So what I did was tighten this up a little bit. It felt like it was a little bit loose from the factory. So it's an 8mm wrench on the bottom and an Allen up on the top. So you're going to tighten that up until you get it nice and solid. Looks like it feels good. A little bit of movement, but nothing more than what the stock lever had. And you're going to want to make sure that when you ride the bike for the first time, you check your clutch engagement. You don't want to let out fully on the clutch and it still be grabbing, which it shouldn't be here. And likewise, when you pull in the clutch, you don't want it to not fully disengage where you're actually burning up your clutch. So you want to check those adjustments. If you need to put the lever much closer to the grip, like say down to the number 1 setting, you may not have enough pull here for it to completely disengage the clutch, so you might have to go down to the clutch side of the bike here, and you may need to make some adjustments here to make sure that you're pulling the clutch fully. And your owner's manual will go over a little bit of detail on that as well. In my case, I don't need it that close, so what I will do, put it back on say number 5, and I think we're good. So that's it, guys. Really makes a difference on the look. Looks way better than the stock ones did. We'll give another report maybe after a few hundred miles on it to see how they hold up. But so far, I think it's $35 well spent. Thanks for watching. If you found some use out of this video, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be doing a lot more maintenance videos and how-to videos, and soon there will be some ride videos as well. So thanks for watching.